They say that when the moon is full and the wind is quiet, old stories rise from the earth like smoke from a fire. So come closer. Sit. Listen. For this is not just a story of a bride who ran, nor only of a prince who chased her. It is the story of choice. It is the story of listening hearts. And it is the story of how love does not grow from force, but from understanding. This story happened long ago, when kings ruled with drums instead of bells, when promises were sealed with cola nuts, and when destiny could still be challenged by a brave heart. There were once two powerful kingdoms. One was Avenor, a land of fertile soil, flowing rivers, and skilled farmers. Its people believed that the earth was a mother and must be respected. The other was Eldoria, a land of iron, horses, and warriors. Its people believed that strength was the spine of survival. For many seasons, peace between these two kingdoms stood on weak legs. So the elders met. The kings spoke. The diviners cast their cowries. And a decision was made. Let the daughter of Avenor marry the son of Eldoria. Let one woman become the rope that ties two drums into one rhythm. That woman was Princess Zara. Princess Zara was not like other princesses. She did not enjoy sitting quietly while others decided her life. She loved to walk among the people, to listen to stories, to ask questions that made elders clear their throats. Why must a woman smile when she is afraid? Why must duty silence the heart? Many laughed and said, She is young. Some shook their heads and said, She thinks too much. But Zara believed something deep inside her bones. A life chosen for you is not the same as a life lived. When she was told she would marry Prince Kael of Eldoria, she did not shout. She did not cry. She simply felt her heart grow cold. She had seen Prince Kael only once, from a distance. Tall, quiet, eyes sharp like a hunter's. No one asked her what she wanted. And that silence hurt more than chains. The night before the wedding, drums filled the palace. Women sang songs of joy. The palace glowed with firelight and gold. But inside Zara's room, there was no music. She sat alone, staring at the heavy wedding beads laid before her. Beads meant to shine, yet they felt heavy as stones. Her old nurse, Mama Nuru, entered quietly. My child, she said gently, your heart is running faster than your feet. Zara whispered, Mama, if a bird is placed in a golden cage, is it still free? Mama Nuru did not answer at once. She only said, Some roads are walked once. Some choices speak for a lifetime. That night, Zara chose herself. She dressed in plain cloth, tied her hair like a village girl, and slipped out through the back gate, the same gate servants used, the gate no princess was meant to know. And before the cock crowed, the bride was gone. When dawn came, the palace shook. The bride has fled. Prince Kael of Eldoria heard the words, like a spear to the chest. At first, anger rose in him. Not because he loved her, but because he had been refused without being known. The elders urged him, Send soldiers. Bring her back in chains. But Kael refused. A woman taken by force will never stand beside a king, he said. Instead, he took his horse, his spear, and his father's old traveling cloak. He did not ride as a conqueror. He rode as a seeker. Zara's journey was not easy. She slept under trees. She crossed rivers where spirits were said to live. She learned hunger. She learned fear. But she also learned something new. She learned strength. She traded beads for food. She helped women in the farms. She laughed without permission. For the first time, she belonged to herself. Yet fate walks faster than fear. Prince Kael followed her trail. not with violence, but with patience. He spoke to villagers. He helped fix broken carts. He listened. And everywhere, people spoke of a brave young woman with fire in her eyes. They met at the edge of a small village, near a forest where spirits were said to judge truth. Zara recognized him at once. Her heart pounded. "You've come to drag me back," she said. Kael shook his head. "No," he said quietly. "I've come to understand why you ran." They sat by a fire that night. Zara spoke. She spoke of being unheard, of being promised like land, of being afraid of disappearing into a crown. Kael listened. Not as a prince, not as a man used to command, but as someone learning for the first time that strength without listening is weakness. That night, Zara noticed something strange. He did not interrupt her. They did not return to the palace immediately. Instead, Kael suggested something unheard of. "Travel with me," he said. "Not as my bride, as yourself." On the road together, Zara saw a different Kael. She saw him kneel to help elders. She saw him give his food to hungry children. She saw him admit when he was wrong. One night, she fell ill. Kael stayed awake till dawn, cooling her head with river water, whispering prayers he learned from his mother. When Zara awoke, weak but alive, she saw him sleeping on the ground beside her. And something shifted in her chest. "He sees me," she realized. "Not as a prize, but as a person." Love did not arrive like lightning. It came like rain. Slow. Quiet. Certain. Zara loved Kael because he never forced her return. He asked before he decided. He listened more than he spoke. He protected her freedom, even when it cost his pride. One night, she asked him, "If I choose not to marry you, will you still respect me?" Kael answered without hesitation. "Yes, because love that demands chains is not love." That was the moment. Not when he was strong. Not when he was royal. But when he chose her freedom over his throne. That was when Zara's heart said yes. When they finally returned, the kingdoms expected a captured bride. Instead, they saw a woman walking beside a man. Zara spoke before the elders. "I will not be married by fear. I will not be silent for peace. But I will choose love if love walks with respect." Prince Kael stood beside her. "If she is not free," he said, "then neither am I worthy to rule." The elders murmured. The drums waited. And then, slowly, approval came. They say their marriage later became one of the strongest in history. Not because it began with agreement, but because it began with truth. So remember this, child of tomorrow. A heart chased by force will flee forever. But a heart met with understanding may choose to stay. And that is why this story is called Runaway Bride, Prince in Pursuit. Not because he chased her feet, but because he learned to follow her heart.